What if I told you, somewhere right now, a person with power, influence, and access to doors you've never even seen? Ah, can't stop thinking about you? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Because all your life, they ignored you. They laughed when you spoke. I doubted your vision. They treated you like background noise in a world obsessed with louder voices. But something changed. Maybe it was your silence. Maybe it was your resilience. Maybe it was the way you kept moving while everyone else was busy watching you fail. Now they are watching. Not because you asked for attention. Not because you begged for approval. But because your growth has become impossible to ignore. See, the Joker understands something most people never will. The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you become dangerous. While others were wasting energy trying to impress the crowd, you were building something in the shadows, skill by skill, scar by scar, failure by failure. And now the Apple sitting at the top are asking questions. Who is this person? Where did they come from? How did they become so strong without anyone noticing? Your name keeps appearing in conversations you were never supposed to be part of. Your presence is creating curiosity. Your progress is creating pressure. And the most terrifying thing for them? You're only getting started. Because when power notices potential, the game changes. The spotlight shifts. The rules bend. And suddenly the people who overlooked you yesterday can't get you out of their minds today. If you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever felt underestimated, if you've ever been counted out before the fight even began, then stay with me. Because today we are exposing what happens when the world finally realizes they made a massive mistake by ignoring you. Most people believe that powerful people notice the loudest voices in the room. They think attention comes from showing off, demanding recognition. Are constantly proving themselves to others. That's what the crowd believes. That's what keeps millions trapped in an endless cycle of chasing validation. But the truth is far different. The truth is that real power operates in silence. Real influence watches from a distance. The people at the top often pay attention to things that ordinary people completely overlook. Think about it. When everyone is running in one direction, the person who stands out is often the one moving differently. While the crowd follows trends, copies opinions, and repeats what everyone else is saying, a rare individual is building something unique. They are developing skills when nobody is watching. They are learning lessons through failure while others are busy seeking applause. They are growing in private while everyone else is performing in public. That difference becomes impossible to ignore. Power recognizes patterns. Powerful people spend their lives evaluating people, opportunities, risks, and potentia. They have seen thousands of individuals come and go. They have watched people make promises they never keep. They have watched dreamers quit when things become difficult. They have watched talent disappear because discipline was missing. Because of this experience, they develop an ability that most people never acquire. They learn to spot signals that reveal who someone truly is beneath the surface. The crowd notices confidence. Power notices consistency. The crowd notices popularity. Power notices capability. The crowd notices appearances. Power notices results. That's why many people spend years trying to attract attention and fail, while someone working quietly suddenly becomes impossible to ignore. Their actions begin creating a reputation long before their name becomes known. Their habits begin telling a story. Their discipline leaves clues. Their persistence creates evidence. Every challenge they overcome adds another layer to that story. Every setback they survive becomes another reason people start paying attention. Every obstacle they refuse to surrender to becomes proof of something rare. Most people break under pressure. They complain when life becomes unfair. They search for excuses when things go wrong. They blame circumstances, other people, or the world itself. But occasionally, someone responds differently. Instead of collapsing, they adapt. Instead of quitting, continue. Instead of seeking sympathy, they become stronger. That behavior attracts attention because it is uncommon. The Joker mentality understands this better than anyone. Society expects predictable reactions. It expects people to stay within certain limits. It expects disappointment to create weakness. It expects rejection to create fear. It expects failure to destroy confidence. When someone refuses to follow that script, people become curious. Curiosity is powerful. At first, people ask small questions. Then they ask bigger questions. How is this person still? Moving forward? Why haven't they given up? Where does their confidence come from? How do they keep improving despite everything working against them? Questions become conversations. Conversations become attention. Attention becomes opportunity. What makes this even more interesting is that the person being observed often has no idea it is happening. They are too focused on their mission to notice. While others obsess over who is watching, they are concentrating on becoming better. While others desperately seek recognition, they are sharpening their skills. While others measure success through approval, they measure success through progress. That mindset creates a unique kind of energy. People can sense it. There is something different about an individual who doesn't need constant validation. There is something unsettling about a person who remains focused regardless of praise or criticism. They become difficult to control because their motivation comes from within and from external approval. Power notices people who cannot be manipulated by popularity. Power notices people who remain committed during difficult times. Power notices people who continue improving when nobody is rewarding them. These qualities are rare because they require sacrifice. They require passions. They require emotional control. They require the ability to delay gratification while everyone else searches for immediate rewards. Most people want recognition before they earn it. Most people want results before they develop the necessary skills. Most people want success without enduring the process required to achieve it. But the individuals who eventually attract attention from powerful circles understand something important. They understand that becoming valuable is more important than becoming visible. Visibility without value fades quickly. Value creates lasting impact. Over time, that value begins creating ripples. People start mentioning their name in conversation. Their work starts reaching unexpected places. Their reputation travels farther than they realize. Individuals who have never met them begin hearing about them. Opportunities start appearing from directions they never anticipated. The walls that once seemed impossible to cross begin showing cracks. Doors that were previously closed begin opening slightly. People who once ignored them begin observing them more carefully. The same qualities that made them invisible to the crowd become the exact qualities that make them visible to those who understand true potential. Most people never realize the exact moment their life begins to change. They expect transformation to arrive with fireworks, applause, and dramatic announcements. They imagine some giant breakthrough that instantly tells the world they have become different. But real transformation rarely looks that way. It happens quietly. It happens in the shadows. It happens during the moments nobody notices, that nobody celebrates, and nobody remembers. The most dangerous growth is silent growth. While everyone else is busy judging what they can see, something powerful is developing beneath the surface. Just like a storm gathers strength before it reaches the horizon. A person can be changing in ways that remain completely invisible to the outside world. Day after day, they are becoming stronger. Thought after thought, they are becoming wiser. Challenge after challenge, they are becoming harder to break. The world only notices the final result. It doesn't notice the sleepless nights. It doesn't ice the sacrifices. It doesn't notice the frustration. It doesn't notice the countless moments when quitting would have been easier. People see confidence and assume it appeared overnight. They see success and assume luck played a role. They see strength and assume life was easy. They never see the hidden battles that created those qualities. They never see the private wars fought behind closed doors. That is where true transformation lives. The Joker mentality understands this reality better than most people. It understands that every painful experience contains a lesson. Every betrayal contains information. Every failure contains a hidden advantage. While others allow hardship to destroy them, a different type of person uses hardship as fuel. Each disappointment sharpens their awareness. Each rejection strengthens their independence. Each obstacle develops their resilience. At first, nobody notices the difference. To everyone else, they look the same. They still walk through the same streets. They still enter the same rooms. They still face the same challenges. But internally, something has changed. Their perspective becomes stronger. Their emotional control improves. Their understanding of people deepens. That transformation is powerful because it happens beyond the reach of public opinion. Nobody can stop what they cannot see. Nobody can criticize growth they do not recognize. Nobody can attack a process they do not understand. While people waste energy seeking attention, this individual is investing energy into becoming more capable. They stop obsessing over what others think. They stop chasing approval from people who never believed in them. They stop explaining their vision to individuals who cannot understand it. Instead, they focus on progress. Small improvements become daily habits. Daily habits become long-term discipline. Long-term discipline becomes personal power. This is where many people fail to recognize what is happening. Power comes from status, money, popularity, or influence. Those things can certainly create advantages, but they are not the foundation of real power. Real power comes from self-mastery. It comes from controlling your emotions when circumstances become difficult. It comes from staying focused when distractions surround you. It comes from remaining committed when results take longer than expected. Most people are controlled by their feelings. A bad day destroys their motivation. A negative comment ruins their confidence. A setback changes their direction. A failure convinces them to quit. But someone experiencing silent transformation begins operating differently. Their emotions no longer dictate every decision. Their circumstances no longer determine their mindset. Their confidence no longer depends on external validation. That shift changes everything. Because once a person becomes internally strong, they become difficult to influence through fear. They become difficult to discourage through criticism. They become difficult to manipulate through approval or rejection. People begin sensing this change even if they cannot explain it. They notice a different energy. They notice a different presence. They notice a different level of certainty. The person who once sought permission now acts with conviction. The person who once doubted themselves now trusts their judgment. The person who once hesitated now moves with purpose. That creates curiosity. People start paying attention. They wonder what happened. They wonder why this person seems different. They wonder where this confidence came from. The truth is that confidence did not appear suddenly. It was built through hundreds of unseen victories. Every time they refused to quit, confidence grew. Every time they overcame fear, confidence grew. Every time they survived adversity, confidence grew. These victories were invisible to everyone else. No audience was present. No celebration occurred. No recognition was given. But those moments mattered because they changed the individual from the inside out. The most powerful transformations always begin internally before they become visible externally. The roots grow before the tree rises. A foundation is built before the structure appears. Strength develops before results arrive. Its process frustrates many people because it requires patience. It requires faith in progress that cannot yet be measured. It requires continuing forward without immediate evidence that the effort is working. Most people abandon the journey during this stage because they mistake silence for failure. They assume nothing is happening. They assume their efforts are wasted. They assume their growth is invisible. What they fail to understand is that invisibility is often part of the process. The greatest changes are occurring beneath the surface. Skills are developing. Character is strengthening. Awareness is expanding. Discipline is becoming permanent. And while the world remains focused on appearances, something far more valuable is taking shape in secret. Something that cannot be faked. Something that cannot be borrowed. something that cannot be taken away by circumstances, criticism, or temporary setbacks. Most people never hear what is said about them when they are not in the room. They never know whose attention they have captured. They never realize when their name begins appearing in conversations they were never supposed to be part of. Yet some of the biggest shifts in life begin exactly this way. A name gets mentioned, a question gets asked, curiosity starts spreading, and suddenly, the doors that once seemed permanently closed begin moving. What makes this fascinating is that it usually happens long before the person is aware of it. While they are focused on improving themselves, someone else is paying attention. While they are handling challenges, someone else is observing. While they are building quietly, someone else is becoming interested. This is how influence often begins, not through announcements, not through popularity, not through attention-seeking behavior, but through consistent actions that create a reputation strong enough to travel without permission. The Joker mentality understands a powerful truth. People can ignore words, but they struggle to ignore evidence. They can dismiss promises, but they pay attention to results. They can doubt potential, but they become interested when they repeatedly see proof. Proof changes everything. When your actions consistently demonstrate discipline, people notice. When your growth continues despite obstacles, people notice. When your confidence remains strong under pressure, people notice. The interesting part is that attention does not always arrive from where you expect it. Sometimes the people watching are the same individuals who once underestimated you. Sometimes they are complete strangers. Sometimes they are people with influence, resources, opportunities, or connections that could completely alter the direction of your future. At first, your name appears casually. Someone mentions your work. Someone mentions your attitude. Someone mentions your progress. A conversation begins. Questions follow. Who is this person? How did they develop these skills? Why are they improving so quickly? Where did they come from? Questions create curiosity, and curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. Once curiosity is activated, attention follows naturally. People begin looking closer. They begin gathering information. They begin watching more carefully. Most people spend years desperately trying to create this effect. They market themselves endlessly. They seek recognition constantly. They force attention through noise. But attention earned through substance is far more powerful than attention earned through performance. Substance creates respect. Performance creates temporary interest. There is a massive difference between being noticed and being remembered. Millions of people are noticed every day. Very few become unforgettable. What makes someone unforgettable is not their ability to attract attention. It is their ability to leave an impression. That impression is built through consistency. When people hear your name repeatedly associated with excellence, they remember. When people hear your name repeatedly associated with resilience, they remember. When people hear your name repeatedly associated with growth, they remember. Over time, your reputation starts working on your behalf. This is one of the greatest advantages a person can develop. A strong reputation enters rooms before you do. It creates opportunities before you arrive. It builds trust before introductions happen. The crowd focuses on appearances. Power focuses on patterns. When influential people evaluate someone, they are not looking for perfection. They are looking for patterns. They want to see evidence of discipline. They want to see evidence of reliability. They want to see evidence of character under pressure. Patterns reveal who a person truly is. Anyone can perform well for a day. Anyone can appear confident for a moment. Anyone can pretend to be strong temporarily. But maintaining those qualities consistently over time is much harder. That consistency separates ordinary individuals from extraordinary ones. As your name continues circulating, your identity becomes linked to your actions. Your identity becomes linked to your actions. Your reputation becomes linked to your habits. This process can feel invisible while it is happening. You wake up each day focused on your routine. You handle your responsibilities. You continue improving. You continue learning. You continue pushing forward. Meanwhile, conversations are taking place beyond your awareness. People are evaluating your potential. People are discussing your future. People are considered. Possibilities involving your name. Most individuals never imagine this is occurring because they assume influence only belongs to those already at the top. They assume opportunities only appear for the already successful. They assume powerful people only pay attention to famous individuals. Reality works differently. Potential attracts attention. Consistency attracts attention. Authenticity attracts attention. When someone repeatedly demonstrates these qualities, they become difficult to ignore. A Joker mentality thrives in this environment because it does not depend on validation. It does not require applause. It does not need constant recognition. Instead, it focuses entirely on becoming more capable. Ironically, this is what makes attention inevitable. People become fascinated by individuals who are not obsessed with being seen. They become interested in individuals who remain focused despite distractions. They become curious about individuals who continue progress. Regardless of external circumstances, that curiosity grows stronger every time expectations are exceeded. Every obstacle overcome creates another reason for people to pay attention. Every achievement creates another reason for people to remember your name. Every display of resilience creates another reason for people to wonder what you might accomplish next. Before long, your name carries weight. Not because you demanded respect, not because you forced recognition, not because you chased approval, but because your actions built a reputation that speaks even when you remain silent. Because somewhere behind closed doors, conversations you never expected, among people you may have never met, your name continues appearing again and again, attached to a growing sense of curiosity, possibility, and undeniable potential.